Well, hey y'all. Apparently, Justin Trudeau has thrown some jabs back at President Trump about tariffs, and he's going to do some reciprocal tariffs. Let's talk about where tariffs are now, because I think a lot of people don't realize what the real deal is. And it occurred to me last night. It's like I think I was listening to a Aretha Franklin tune. Who's zooming who? Who's zooming who? Let's talk about Canada's dependence as it comes to trade on the United States. How about that first? Canada's dependence on the US. Approximately 75% of Canada's exports go to the United States. 75%. About 15% of US exports go to Canada. Now, that's a sizable amount. 50, 75, 15. Okay. The US is Canada's largest trading partner by a massive margin. Huge, massive margin. Canada is the US's second largest trading partner after Mexico. So they're third. Okay. About 18 to 20% of Canada's entire GDP, their gross domestic product, is derived from exports to the US. 18 to 20%. On the other side, about 1.5 to 2% of the United States GDP is related to exports to Canada. 20%, 1.5%. Roughly 50% of Canada's manufacturing sector depends on US trade. Key sectors like automotive, energy, agriculture are deeply integrated with the US market. Significant, but much less critical compared to Canada's dependence on the United States. United States, yeah, got to have that partner, but right now, it's interesting. Let's look at some specific economic indicators. The total US-Canada trade, imports and exports, was around $960 billion last year, 2024. The US economy is about 10 times larger than Canada's. Canada's economy is much more vulnerable to US economic fluctuations. So when we take it in the side, they take it in the head. The US has more economic diversification and larger global trade networks than Canada. So what we're talking about, in essence, while both countries benefit from trade, because trade builds wealth, Canada is far, far, far more economically dependent on the United States than the reverse. This asymmetry is due to, of course, the size difference of the countries and their economics and Canada's geographic and economic proximity to the U.S. market. I mean, the United States has a lot more people. It's much bigger where people live, all that kind of stuff. So when Justin Trudeau, soy boy, gets up and just decides that he's going to stick it to Donald Trump, my Canadian friends, be really careful with this dude, because a lot of us know that Canada depends a lot more on the US than the reverse. This is something that we have to know. And this is the same for a lot of places. We got to get out of here. Until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We'll see you when we see you. Bye now.